That's actually why I got recruited to Meet Me from Live Me by Oh No Jake. Basically, I'll just battle you guys. I will give you a specific topic. I'll give you a year that you pick. I can tell you easy or old. I'll play the song for you. You guess the artist and title. If you get it wrong, I drop hints. It's a lot of fun, a lot easier to pass the time than just staring at each other.
But what if like to you and I just want to stare at you, Brandon? Is that not okay?
I am pretty.
You're
It's
very
okay.
pretty. We're going part of our conversation today. We'll walk through memory lane. What type of guy were you in high school?
In high school, I was 4'9". I was the only emo scene kid down here. I wore skinny jeans. I skated. I wore the guy liner. All that.
Avril Lavigne knew about you. That's what happened. He was the skater boy.
Yeah.
So you were legitimately 4'9"?
Like I'm only 5'8" now.
Wow, you're 5'8" now.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, man. I mean, that's a growth. Right? That's a real growth spurt. How was high school for you? You mentioned that you were a little bit of an outcast. Did you feel like one? What was your experience like?
Subject wise, I didn't pay much attention. I was more focused on the girls. And then actually I dropped out my junior year because a lot of the girls didn't tell me they had boyfriends. And I'm a pacifist. I don't like to fight. I just
Brandon, hold on. We gotta rewind that statement. You said you dropped out of school because of ladies?
Okay. No, I dropped out because I didn't like to fight.
So were you hitting on women and their boyfriends were finding out? Yeah. And so you're like, yeah, not about it.
No, they were hitting on me, and then things happened on the occasion. Then their boyfriends found out and confronted. I was like, dude, I didn't know they had your boyfriend. Like,
is this a they? Like, is this a they situation, or was like there an instance that this happened?
A they.
It's you and me. All right, Brandon. The player himself embodied, Mojo Incarnate, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Brandon. Okay, so you dropped out because you were breaking too many hearts. I cannot relate. But maybe there's someone who's out there who can. Congratulations on being the #1 man in history to do it. So you left high school. What did you do? You have to have a plan. If you're going to drop out, what did you do?
I just started working, man. I've done everything from asphalt, roofing. I've been in management for 8+ years. I ran my own 1099 company for about 2 years. Then we got shut down. Then I had to go back to a crappy 9-to-5, and yeah. Then I traveled from here to Maryland, out to Colorado, Kansas City, all that stuff.
What was for those of you who don't know what a 1099 is, it's a tax form that you do when you have a proprietorship. So
basically means I don't get taxes taken out and I pay a shit ton at the end of the year.
Yes, exactly. But what was the business? What was the business that you were running?
The business, we were independent contractors. So basically we would take other companies' products and push them for other people at different events and stuff like that. One of the biggest things we actually had was the free phones. People call them the Obama phones, even though they've been around since 1975. They're not the Obama phones, but I mean, I would make $10, $11 per phone. I'd be working 11 to 5 p.m. 5 days a week, pulling in like $3,000 a month, just being my own boss.
That's great. So you were working hard selling phones. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then we went and got our HIPAA certifications too. So like we did cancer screenings for people and everything like that.
So you did cancer screenings and sold cell phones?
Gave away free cell phones.
Gave away free cell phones, but you made $11 to $12 on the free cell phones? How does that work?
Yeah. It's all government funded. Basically, if you get like food stamps, Medicaid, Social Security, disability, something like that, you would qualify for it.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's a neat line of work, man. Okay, so you You said that business unfortunately had to end, and then you started doing a 9 to 5 again, or an 8 to 5. What type of gig?
Yeah. I've been back in Missouri for a little over 3 weeks. I was in Denver, Colorado last 8 months, and I was actually working at DIA Airport. I was the guy that guided the planes in and out, loaded them, unloaded them, and stuff like that.
That's really cool. Did you like that? Yeah. I've always wondered.
Oh, I love that job. It was amazing, dude. Like the flight benefits, like you got to fly free in the U.S. and Canada. If you wanted to go from Denver to Japan and back, it was $60.
Wow,
that was it.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, so that's the early life part, and obviously you're here with a bunch of music, but I'm still gonna keep teasing it. How does broadcasting fit in? When did you first pick up a camera and go, okay, I'm going live?
Okay, so I started live streaming back in January, and I would just, like I said, people would sit there and stare at you and just expect something, or black screen. I got tired of it. So I would just sit there and I'd play random songs on my guitar, or I would prop it up over my drawings while I was sitting there drawing on live. And then I kind of just gave up on it for about 4 or 5 months. Come June, July is like where I made the game, and it kind of perfected it with my little motto, the saying, all that. And that's how a bunch of people know me by now, is because of that. So, and then I've been doing it almost every day since.
Yeah. When did you realize that you want to bring or integrate music into it? Was it the fact that you felt like there wasn't content, or that you were trying to develop something?
Yeah, there wasn't content. It was boring. I'm tired of looking at these streams where it's just a bunch of really pretty girls showing their tits, writing people's names on them just to get gifts. Like, I work my ass off on this app, and I get less than a quarter of what other top streamers get. Like, I have actual content. Like, honestly, in my opinion, other than you and Idol, I'm the best stream on here.
That's a bold statement, my guy. Back it up for me.
Very easily. I mean, we could do a little test run. I can play the game with you. I know we tried the other night.
Okay. Well, we'll do that in a second. But besides you playing an instrument, because I'll play devil's advocate, there's many musicians on this app. Why do you feel that you're the best?
Because I don't only play other songs that other people have made. I make my own. I've made probably 15 originals, and I make it interesting. I test your mind when I play the game with you. Like, I make you think, I make you remember, and I make you fucking happy.
Cool. All right, so there you are. You've developed a show, and you play some instruments. How long have you been a musician, and what got you started being?
I picked up my first guitar when I was 16. I'm actually in my grandpa's shop right now in the little studio area. My mom got it from him. It was a few months after my birthday. I kind of got left in Pleasant Hill for a week at some dude's house I didn't know. And as a, oh shit, my bad, my mom was like, here's a guitar. So, like, my music has been like my safe space. It's what keeps me happy and keeps me sane.
Okay. And did you have any influences or inspirations, music?
Just creativity just runs in my family, honestly. I mean, it's just, I pick it up naturally. I make songs like no other. It's just easy for me.
But again, to reiterate, has there been any other musicians that you've looked up to and said, yeah, I really respect or like what they've done?
Anything by System of a Down. I love System of a Down. I had a really big obsession with them.
That's awesome. Okay, and as far as being your own musician, you said that you're in the studio now. So where has that taken you? How have you developed as an artist to start to spill it?
Honestly, like I said, I've been playing, just to keep myself happy. This is the first time meeting up with him. This is our second time playing together. I've never been in a band before. I've never attempted to have anything of that sort. But him and I playing together, it's inspired me to want to do more. I just had to find a bassist, find a singer, because unfortunately I can't sing. And I think that my music could really go somewhere.
That's awesome. Besides being a part of this band and live streaming, have you done anything that you consider to be notable or presentable regarding your artistry?
I mean, specifically, no. I mean, I just make my music and play to play. I just want to make people happy.
How do you feel about the saying, fake it until you make it? How does that, you feel that applies to it all?
No, you have to be genuine. You have to be honest and just do your own thing. If people love you, they love you. If they hate you, they hate you. Just accept whatever comes.
Because you do have, and respectfully, quite a bit of confidence. You're one of the most.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. How do you feel about that? I mean, borderline, if I were to say, hey, humility is questionable, how would you respond to that statement?
Okay, so there's a big difference between being cocky and confident. So I am just confident in myself. I believe in myself, and I believe in what I do. I'm not cocky. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody out there, because everybody is better in their own ways. Like, there's some people out here I've seen on this app, I can't even compete to how they play. It's just how I present my content.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say I always say leave it to the person to speak for themselves. Totally neutral here on that. So okay, for sure. Obviously you've got people queued up and at the ready, and we're all anticipating something. So can you tell us a little about what you've coordinated here? What has been coordinated?
So this song I made probably 4 days ago. I was just sitting there randomly. I had hopped off my live, and I just started strumming a bunch of random chords, and it kind of turned into something. So within like 5 to 10 minutes, I got the whole rhythm down in different sections. And my buddy, he said, it's like, dude, I got this guy that he plays drums. He has a whole entire music room. So we went out there and we played with each other. And the second we played together, like we clicked, we vibed, man. It was perfect. It sounded beautiful. I love it. Like, you don't vibe like that with most people. It was so natural.
Are you referring to the person behind you right now? Are you referring to the person behind you right now? That's excellent. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you made a new friend. That's a positive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So stage is yours, my friend. I mean, you've got a drummer there with you. You've got an instrument. Let's see what the best streamer on Meet Me is about.
You ready?
No, I get to say hello.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Grandpa says hello. I got to say hello.
He's the owner of the shop. He wants to say hi. How you
doing?
Call me
I like the look.
lady.
All right.
So I play a little stick for you.
All right.
Ready?
All right, we're gonna get it.
Cue it up.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Go.
job, boys. Good job, boys. Yeah!
That's what we got so far.
Good job, guys. Check you out. That's pretty good. You said that you guys just wrote that 3 days ago, 4 days ago?
Yeah. I wrote it about 4 days ago. Within 5 minutes, he heard it. He made a drum track to it, and it was amazing.
That's awesome. And you met the drummer. So you've got your G-Paw there, and you've got the gentleman behind you, and then yourself.
Yeah.
Are you planning?
And then another friend.
And another friend there. So you got a 4-piece. And then how long have you known each person in the band?
Grandpa, obviously, all my life. I've known David for less than a week. Randy, right here, I've known him for what, 4 or 5 years? Yeah, he can hear just fine.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, we just played.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. That was awesome. You got great audience and people. So.
And he's doing a great job
Thank you, guys.
for a place down here, which is hard to come.
Yeah, I definitely need a singer and I need a bassist, 100%. If I could sing, oh my God, I wish.
Yeah. You can sing. I told him just do it.
How about all of you sing at the same time?
Showtime.
If all of you sing at the same time and one of you is bad, all of you cover each other up, and so it's like you make up for it. Yeah, it's like a community thing, right? Cool, man. Do you have a name for your band yet?
No, like that's actually okay. So that's the first song. Like the only songs I've ever made, I've made 3 for my kids. Those were the only ones that had me. Okay, because I have 3 kids, and that one right there, that was for somebody. She's here. She said not to say her name, so I won't. But she's here, and she knows it's for her. And she inspired me to want to do something with it. So that's why I've been working so hard for it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, man. I'm grinding and working hard on all this.
Thank you.
You mentioned some goals that you have pertaining to live and all that kind of good stuff. But what else do you have going on in your life? You know, I mean, you work, you do music.
Yeah, yeah. I work, I do music, and I'm a single dad of 3. Man, I mean, this is my only entertainment is to go live. Like I want to be one of the best streams on here. I want to eventually have my own show on here with Guess That Song. I mean, I know there was something back in the past that somebody did something similar to that. They're not around anymore, and I think I bring a new perspective on it that nobody else does.
Well, cool, man. When do you go live? If someone's interested in hearing more or would like to talk with you, when can they catch you?
Every day, all day, honestly. Like most times I'm like, because like I don't start this new job until next week. So I will be a seasonal manager at a damn Dollar Tree. But hey, it works. I'm close home to my kids. It's cool. You know,
and I don't pay nothing down here, and he's got to pay.
But yeah, so I go live. It's usually between like noon to 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You'll find
it. Oh, cool, man.
Living, if you win or if you guess the song right, which most people don't, unfortunately, but I give amazing hints that are so detailed, you get the satisfaction that I tested your mind. You found a song that you probably haven't heard in forever, and it's just a fun time to pass, or fun way to pass the time.
I love the humility, man. It's so good. You're like, I dropped out of school because so many women wanted me. I'm the best streamer who's not discovered on the app. My band is gonna be the best. I love it, dude. You're too much.
Confidence, man. Confidence is key, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I've never been quite the confident person, right? I feel that I'm a confident.
See, I wasn't either, man. Especially if you would have met me last year, I would not have been confident at all. I was overweight. I was depressed. I hated life.
Really?
And then I worked. Yeah, dude. I was like 220 pounds. I was sad, alone. I hated it.
Wow.
And I just
What caused
worked on
the
myself.
change?
And,
How did you turn it around?
what caused? Okay, so this town that I'm in now, I've been here the last 13 years, and it really gets a hold on you. A lot of my friends that I grew up with, they turned to drugs, ended up, committing suicide, stuff like that, and I didn't want that. So I got this opportunity to travel to Baltimore, and I walked 10 miles a day. Honestly, it was like -5-degree weather out there. I couldn't afford to eat, so I would just work my ass off, and then I'd eat once a day if I was lucky. And I kind of kept that routine over the years, and that's how I lost 65 pounds in like a year and a half.
Wow, congratulations. If you had to share with someone who was feeling that same way, that they were unhappy with themselves, what is something that motivated you, or how did you find the inspiration to make that self change?
Find an outlet that makes you happy. Find somebody that makes you happy. Just something that makes you whole and not feel empty.
What was that for you?
Honestly, it was my music and my kids, and then the opportunity to better myself and actually give them a life. I'm tired of struggling. I want to strive.
Respectable, man. I think underneath it all, because you are very confident, I think it's well intended, and that's the important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the important part to the story, is that there's a why behind everything that we do. And I think for you, it's packaged in a confident package where there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
And that's admirable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anything else that you'd like to share or talk about while you're here? Anything that's important to you? Even how live streaming has impacted you. I know you talked about a little bit.
Honestly, I've met some of my greatest friends on this live. Off stream here, off your show. I've met you. We've talked and battled and stuff. Like, you're one of the best people I've been here. You, Idol, Jeer Fox. Like, I love Jeer. He's absolutely amazing. Especially Idol. Like, when I was having a hard time in Denver, like I was homeless for a little bit, living in my car. Man, it got bad out there. Idol offered me a place to stay in South Dakota with him. Like, it was like, people on here are amazing. Like, I met someone like Solus on here. Like, he is so chilled out and relaxed. The first time him and I battled, his girl Nikki, she dropped like 13,000 on me in a battle. I'd never met them. They just saw my guitar, they heard me play it, and they loved it. And we've been best friends since.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man. So, to say little is that it's been impactful. Now you've made actual meaningful relationships.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Live streaming is a part of my life, and it always will be, especially from here on out.
That's awesome. Anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up today?
If you guys want to play the game, make sure you favorite me, check it out, or stop by, or find me in a random match, and I'll show you guys what we can do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for bringing your new band. We definitely will need an update. We're going to need to hear more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll have so much more content coming.
I like it. I like it very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this conversation with Brandon and you'd like to get to know him more, hear more of his music, please give him a favorite. And one more time, repeat when you go live.
I go live anywhere between noon Central Time to 4 or 5 a.m. Central
Awesome.
Time.
Well, thank you so much, Brandon, for coming on. I had a great time talking to you, man.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Hey! Funky! Everybody, thank you so much for coming back to the show. It's always good to see you. My name is Chris Casper. This is Suited Up with Chris. We do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an interview-style late-night show. We do app updates and news at the beginning of the show. Every week, there's an up-and-comer or a top badge, VIP, movers and shakers. If someone's making an impact on the app, I want to know about them so that I have the opportunity to share them with so many of you. Yeah. If you have interest in being on the show, or if you'd like to talk or anything like that, please send me a message on Meet Me or Instagram. That's the easiest way to reach me is Instagram. And tell me, who would you like to see on the show? I'm always on the lookout. There's a lot of streamers, but there's definitely gyms. And we're always looking for those gyms. The people who have really worked hard to get to the place that they're at, or are working hard and deserve to have that shot at really talking about themselves and getting to know everyone better. And definitely thank you to Brandon. So one more time, big shout out and thank you to Abby, to Jules, and to Brandon tonight. Again, my name's Chris. I had a fantastic time with you all tonight. I hope to see you again really soon, whether it's on the show or during one of the regular streams, or I actually talk with the comments and respond and do all that kind of stuff where it's not so rah, because you know, whatever that meant. Much love, everybody. I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.
The host with the most?
I don't know. You're giving me a run for my money, and you've been giving me a run for my money for a long time, and that's something we can talk about.
You can be the host with the most, and I can be the hostess with the mostest.
Okay. I was a host, at a restaurant for a number of years.
Oh, yes.
I have it on a resume that I was a host.
Oh, I love it.
It's different.
I actually was too. I was a host at Sir Restaurant in West Hollywood. Do you hear of Vanderpump Rules?
Mm-mm.
It's a Bravo reality show. Yes, we won't talk about that.
No, but
you were a bad host. I'm actually a very good host when I'm like hosting, but not in a restaurant.
Did you like working in the service industry? What time period was this in your life where you were working?
This was so it was kind of for me to be a part of the show. So I didn't think I actually had to work there. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. No, just because I know I'm not good at that kind of stuff. But I actually had to work there. It was probably one of my hardest jobs ever. And that was like probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
You're everything, Shell. It's like slam all of you guys.
So you worked in the service industry, and for those who haven't met you, we haven't even done introductions yet. I gave a little bit, but I don't know that I can do it better than yourself. So will you please introduce yourself, say where you're from, all that
Hi,
kind
guys. If you guys don't know me, my name is Abby Scott. I'm an artist, songwriter. I was born and raised in LA. I grew up in a very musical family. My dad wrote songs for Air Supply, Selena, Barry White. Thank you, guys. A lot of the greats. And so music, I grew up around music. Mm-hmm. So I knew I always wanted to do something in the music world. And now I have 3 albums on iTunes, Spotify. You guys can stream my music. Thank you guys for all the love. I love you, Shell. And I love broadcasting. I love streaming because I can incorporate my music and you guys get to be a part of it and really be interactive, involved in my music. And kind of like, I love always hearing like, what do you guys think I should release as my next single, or what songs do you think I should do a music video for? Like, I love everyone being kind of like a part of my world and my career, and I love them. So
let's segment it up a little bit, because that's a whole lot of life. That's like the 30-second bio, but let's get the bio pick. Let's get the whole bio pick, right? So born and raised in LA. That's the city. If someone thinks about dreams being made,
a unicorn
makes you a unicorn. What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know if I made that up or it was a saying, because everyone in LA is from somewhere else. You won't really meet a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm born and raised out here. It's like everyone's from somewhere else. You're Shell.
What was life like in LA? Have you ever lived anywhere else, or has it always been LA?
No, I've only lived in Los Angeles. And I mean, I love it because it's all I've known, but I live in kind of like the suburbs of LA. So I didn't really live like in Hollywood. I think that would be a little too chaotic for me. I'd probably be a different person.
Yeah. Well, going back to it, you said you grew up there and that your dad was involved in the music industry, which would make sense why you grew up in LA, because that's the prime location for him to work with.
He's from back east, though. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So he came out here to do music. And he had a lot of success with his music, which thank God. Because he's he could have gone the other way. And then I'd be outside with a tin can.
Well, definitely kudos to your dad, but you've had your own success too. I'm interested to know how your dad's success, or how his passion for music, influenced you or rubbed off on you. When did you get your start, or realize that, hey, this is something I also want to be part of?
Thank you, Shell. So I was actually very shy growing up. So it took me a long time to kind of get out of my shell, but I was writing music and singing music from a young age, but I really just didn't share my music with anyone, especially my dad, until I was 18 or 19. And then I played him all my stuff, and he really he saw a lot of potential. And so I'm actually in my home studio right now. He built this home studio, and we ended up doing a ton of demos together. And then I ended up eventually working with different producers and releasing a full album. And it went from there. And then I just started collaborating with other artists and other songwriters. And I was able to really kind of catapult my music and get like, some traction.
You honestly were able to skip the humble beginnings portion of it, in the sense of, starting out in the garage or something somewhere. By having your dad have this immediate connection, you really had a great leg up. So how do you feel that your music has been your own compared to the work that your dad has done? Or do you feel that you're continuing the legacy of what his style or his influence was?
No, definitely not his style. And actually everything I've really done with my music, I've kind of gotten myself. He has been like super supportive, and he kind of helped launch it in the sense of we kind of like worked together and we started from the ground up. But as far as like my placements and my connections, it's all been based upon me. Like he really he was like, you need to do this for you, especially because his connections were with like Clive Davis and a lot of like the older generation of the music industry. And as a lot of you guys know, the music industry has completely changed. It's all streaming. Back when he was doing it was like vinyl records. So it's like completely changed. So I definitely took his advice with a lot of things, but I kind of like I did my music and kind of like my career on my terms.
Mm-hmm. I feel that's important, because you wouldn't want to be a situation where you feel like this is my dad's shadow. It becomes to be your own art, it becomes your own piece, and something that you can separate and say, yeah, he had affiliation, but this is really my own. So it sounds like you took that route. I think that's something you can really be proud of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And actually my broadcasting and my streams has really helped me with my music as well, because I kind of like took a backseat to being an artist, and I was focused more on songwriting and writing for other people. And when I was just playing my music on my broadcast, people would be like, well, I really is this you? You should be putting this out. We want to download this. We want to get it. So it kind of like made me start, put all my songs together, release an album, which is Best Bad Idea, and really start focusing back on my artistry. So that's thanks to like my broadcasts and my support.
What is your musical style? You said that you write music and then you produce it. So do you do any instruments as your main instrument, your voice? What is the background?
So you can get you can download my music on iTunes, Google Music. Let me see if I have it up really quick. And then I'll tell you how I kind of create the music. So this is my, can you guys see that? I don't know if you guys can see it.
Best Bad Idea, correct?
Best Bad Idea, yes.
Available on all platforms.
iTunes, Google Music, Spotify. But how I create my music is, it's a collaborative process. I write the melody and lyrics. I'm not really a producer or a DJ. So kind of either a producer sends me a track and then I top line the melody and lyrics, or it's a collaborative process where we're kind of like working together and build it from the ground up as far as like the track, and then we kind of come up with the melody and lyrics.
Yeah. From your experience and what you've done in music, I'm sure there have been some lessons that you've learned. And this is a path that I think a lot of people make an attempt at. What is your advice, or what would you suggest to people who are looking to follow suit and go down this musical path, try and make it a profession or do something full time?
So the music industry is not easy, and it's definitely constantly changing. I think the best thing for anyone to do is to continue to write music, create music, do what you're best at. If you're best at singing, then kind of like find a team to kind of write your songs for you. If you're best at writing, focus on that, and just continue to create, because so many people just kind of like expect it to come to them. It's a grind. I didn't get any handouts. Even with my dad having that's his success. I would take it though. If it was like, okay, we can get you signed and this and this and that. It's not that easy. You see like really talented people, like Brandon Jenner. His David Foster was his stepdad, and he, wasn't able to get signed just like that. There's a ton of people that have connections, even John Lennon, Sean Lennon. It's like they're struggling, you know. It's like you really have to make it on your own these days.
Yeah, totally understand. A few more questions that'll pertain to singing, but I would like to get outside of it because there's a whole other person. I think that's the fun part, is that I think a lot of people know you for your music, but who's behind the scenes? What's behind the curtain, right? You mentioned live streaming, that live streaming helped boost it. So how long have you been involved in the broadcasting world?
I've been like probably involved in like the broadcasting platform for a little over a year now of doing like continuous broadcasts. And like I said, it's a whole different world. Like it kind of really opened my eyes. And I, from the get-go, really incorporated my music and kind of like the outpour of like, you know, support and just people that I've met through these apps has been incredible, especially Meet Me. That's why I love broadcasting on here. And just kind of like, you know, giving out download cards to my album and like merchandise because I appreciate people showing support, you know, and keeping the Abby Scott Show on air. I call it the Abby Scott Show, but yeah.
That's good. I think the
like
title.
The Chris Show or the Suited Up.
Suited Up with Chris. For some reason, I felt like it.
Show on air, guys. Bring the boom to the room. I have a lot of isms, but yeah.
I don't have a cool phrase like that. Bring the boom to the room. I don't know if that can be mine, but I think it's fitting.
Boom to the room. You guys, you can use them. So literally there is this incredible design artist, Tri Battle Design, and he literally created for some of my songs like Love You Mean It and Best Bad Idea. He created all of these drawings. This is for my song Check. I mean, how incredible is this?
That's super cool.
He even has a boom to the room. So this is the boom to the room.
I know as an artist, it's hard to pick favorites. But if you were to point someone who was new to you in the direction of, hey, this is something I feel proud of, or this may not be my most popular piece, but for me, it's something that's sentimental or meaningful. What would be one of your pieces or I guess we'd say one of your pieces that you feel particularly proud of or sentimental about?
I think my whole album Best Bad Idea, out of all the songs on there, probably one of my favorites is Paperclip. That's one of my favorite songs, but it's hard to pick one. It's like, you know, I like when other people pick their favorites. You know, when other people have a favorite, then it's like, you know, or a song that resonates with them, that's what means the most to me. Like, you know, I try to like just always do the best I can and put out the best material that I can. So
that's the beauty of art, right? It's left to the viewer to interpret and draw their own conclusions. So I definitely understand that. Got a little derailed from the live stream thing that we're talking about, but you mentioned Meet Me in the community of Meet Me.
Yeah.
I know that you've done other platforms and have been on other platforms. So if we were to just talk exclusively for a moment about Meet Me, what can you say comparatively has been your experience on Meet Me?
My experience on Meet Me has been amazing. I've met so many incredible people, and I've really been able to build like more of like people to like that really just like have my music resonate with them, and just like great feedback and just incredible support. Like I'm blown away by not only Meet Me and the people that work with Meet Me, but like people on the app just have been so supportive and kind. You get some not nice people, like we have some not nice people in this chat, but that's just on any platform in life. And when you put yourself out there and you put your music out there, you open yourself up for, you know, all of it, you know, but I try to focus on the positive and the people that really just dig me and dig what I'm doing. And those are the people that really help me get through it and continue to focus on creating the best music I can and just not giving up, because this industry is really, really hard. It's rejection nonstop. Even when you're doing really, really well, you're still feeling it, especially because when you're creative, you are sensitive, you know? So.
And that's true. just because someone is a great musician doesn't necessarily mean that they're a great broadcaster, or vice versa. Broadcasting doesn't necessarily mean you're a musician. How would you say that as a streamer you stay successful, or what have you found to be some tips and tricks to stick by to keep yourself going?
Well, why I love broadcasting and why, like, even I love hosting, like I have a hosting background. Like I've done a lot of like red carpet events and I've like hosted events. So I'm just like, it sounds corny, but I'm very good at just being myself, being natural and talking to people and getting to know people and engaging with them. And that's how I treat my broadcasts. I'm really interactive with people that come in the broadcast. I want to hear their story. I want to hear what they think. Thank you, Sassy. I'm sorry. I'm very bad at multitasking. That is one thing I'm very bad at. I'm bad at talking, reading, engaging with you, but when I'm doing my broadcast, I'm good at it. But just interacting with everyone and like really just kind of being, like I said, being myself, as corny as it sounds. And I think that's what makes a really great.
That's great. That's great. You mentioned red carpet events and hosting background. Do you have any favorites, most memorable experiences that you've been a part of?
Ooh, I've interviewed such incredible people. I mean, one that comes to mind, which was pretty crazy, was I was the last person on camera to interview Brittany Murphy before she passed away. And we had this moment where she was like, "Can I have your hair in my next life?" And she unfortunately passed away a couple weeks later. So I had like E! News and Access Hollywood and everyone calling me, and they're like, "Did she know she was going to die?" And I'm just like, I just had like this. I just had a very organic moment with her because she is a sweetheart. And so that probably is like one of the most like iconic interviews that I've done, just because, you know, unfortunately she passed away, but she's an incredible actress, and, you know.
Yeah, I got you. Let's talk about life besides the streaming world and besides the music world. What do you do when you want to decompress or have some Abby time? What is fun to you?
Oh, I'm so boring. Like, I like the simple things in life. I like just like walking my Aishi Chihuahua and just like
what?
My Aishi Chihuahua, my Chihuahua. She's actually a Chihuahua Min Pin mix. But
it sounds really extra. I have no idea what that is.
You know, but yeah, that was a little extra. But so yeah, I just like the simple things in life, spending time with friends, going to the movies, just like, you know, I think it's like, doesn't matter what you're doing, it's the people that matter. So I just like surrounding myself with like-minded people that are just down to earth, that, you know, kind of enjoy the same things, simple things.
Yeah, no, I definitely follow it. Do you have any aspirations or goals? What's next for you? You've done a lot of big things. Your personal life, from what I just asked, it sounds like kind of takes a back seat, and that you're very goal oriented.
I'm very
goal-oriented. You have anything you can throw out?
Yeah, I'm very focused on my career, maybe sometimes too much, but you know what? It's like something that I really love doing, and I've kind of found a way to kind of incorporate it in every aspect of my life. And, you know, even my relationship with my dad is very like, we were always working on music, and we still like collaborate on songs and things and talk about music. Just because he knows the process, he knows it's so tough, and he's really just, knows the ups and downs of being in this world, you know, where nothing's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of context there, but what are some of the goals? I mean, if you had to paint the picture and say, hey, dream performance or dream gig, dream aspiration, what are we gunning for?
It's definitely not a dream gig. Like, I just want to, my number one goal is to like have my music on the radio and have like a number one song, either with me as an artist or with a mainstream artist. That's the dream for me, is to be continuously writing and recording songs, like I said, either for me as an artist or for for other artists. A lot of artists like Lady Gaga, Kesha, there's so many, Meghan Trainor, they started as songwriters first, Julia Michaels. So that's kind of like why my focus was definitely to focus on my songwriting and writing for other people rather than focusing on my artistry first. And I still feel like that's probably going to be how I really have that breakthrough song where it's like, you'd say like, well, what song did you write? And then I can tell you, and like half the people, more than half the people, everyone would know the song, you know?
It's like
that's when you know you've made it, when everyone knows what song you're talking about, you know?
Right. It's like Pharrell. So I don't think many people know how many songs Pharrell has actually produced. But one of your favorite songs Pharrell has probably produced. And speaking of, we kind of touched on this, but what is your musical style? Are you a pop artist, country? What is your musical style?
My musical style is very pop. I sing and write pop music. It's very, I would say, like a mixture between like Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Britney Spears, maybe a little Gwen Stefani. I like to think I'm a hybrid of a lot of different awesome pop artists. But that's kind of the music that I just really enjoy writing.
Yeah, awesome. And again, if they want to hear your music, they can check you out on Abby Scott from all major platforms, which I highly recommend everyone doing. Abby, before we wrap up today, whoops.
Oh, Jordan with the mystery ball! That's cheating!
But that's when the cracking happens. Right? Yeah. No.
Oh, yes, let's get the thing in the works.
It's fun.
It's so, and I like, I make it very like, no matter what you land on, you'll win a prize, you know? So
equal to the value you give.
If we make it a show, like a game show, spin that wheel.
There you go. You definitely get the wheel fun. And what Jordan, everyone, is doing is using that brand new feature that we were just talking about earlier, which is the gift the viewer, or I guess the viewer. You would
really? Oh, sorry.
Anything that's important to you, maybe it's a topic totally unrelated to anything that we've talked about tonight that you'd like to go over or address?
Not really. I mean, I love me. I love doing my broadcasts on here. I've been doing daily broadcasts on here for probably almost 2 months now. And I'm just thankful for all the awesome people that continuously come to my broadcast, show love, support, win, download cards in my album and all that nice stuff, and just support what I'm all about, because we really do need more positivity and love in the fucking world. I said in the effing world. Sorry, I cussed on your...
It's a point of passion.
I had to say that. Thank you, Pop. I love how I say
in the moment, it's a point of passion.
That's right? So into it, guys, that I totally cussed.
No, I mean, you're fine. You're fine. That's awesome, though. I mean, everyone has their own perspective, and like I said, you can be anything that you want to be on the internet. So why choose to be me, right? Like if you on the internet, you can really choose to be just about anything. So, thank you, Jason. When do you go live? If someone's interested in learning more about you, would like to talk with you, when can they find you?
I am normally live. I would say if I had to give a specific time, it would be probably 9 p.m. Pacific, so midnight Eastern, but I try to go on earlier if I can. It just really depends on my schedule, if I'm in the studio or if I'm working that, so, but normally I would say like 9 p.m. Pacific. What is it? Midnight Eastern.
Got it. Yeah. 3-hour time difference for all the Eastern time zone folks. Yeah. Do the math, Central. I'm not about to try.
Love you, Jordan.
Abby, it's been a ton of fun having you on. Are you planning to go to any of the special events like Playlist, VidCon, anything like that?
I definitely want to go to Playlist. So I'm planning on it. I've never been to Playlist before, but I'm excited to go there and meet everyone from Meet Me. I hope yeah, so I'm definitely planning on going to Playlist.
All right, we'll make those plans concrete because you'll regret not going.
Thank you, Grizzly. You're awesome.
It's a fun time.
Like, thank you for everyone that said positive things. Shout out to positivity. That's like so, you know.
Yes, Abby, I've had a fantastic time with you.
Can I turn it on you? I'm going to be the host for a second, or the reporter. Why don't you have a bouncer?
A lot of people have tried to turn this on me, and I've never given in. I have had bouncers. It got out of control. I felt that for someone who is new to the app or their first time viewing the stream, it can be intimidating. They don't know the culture. They may not know the narrative that's in the live stream. And out of fear that they may get kicked out, I didn't want them to feel that that was a possibility. So I wanted it to be an equal playing field where anyone could have the opportunity to talk and feel included, not have a sense that they were excluded. So that was the decision and reason I made that choice.
So you don't block people ever, no matter what they say?
Very rarely.
Really? Wow.
And it's not that I feel that I'm nice. It's just, as you know, as a streamer, you're going to get every mix. It's the internet. There's a lot of anonymity between what people will say. If things are out of control, we'll take care of it. But it's never been too big of a problem for me. I feel fortunate for that.
Okay.
I have had bouncers.
I have bouncers in the Abbey Club. So if you guys come to the Abbey Club, you better bring those positive vibes. I don't deal with negative vibes. So I don't care.
Well,
sorry, not sorry. Shall I love you guys?
Well, the hard-hitting burning questions. I like it.
Sorry, I had to turn it on you for a second. I was like, well, I have a question for you.
Oh, no, that's the reason why. It was a fairly recent decision. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much for jumping in, Abby. Is there anything else, or I feel like we've had a good conversation. There's always more we can talk about, but for that, they got to be part of the Abbey Club.
Yes. I have the gift of gab. I don't want to take up much of your time. It seems like a lot of people want Jules to come on, who is awesome as well. Thank you so much for having me. Like, very, very cool. Like, I love what you do. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a very fun time, and you do an excellent job. I'll keep taking notes on how you do your thing too.
No, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys like hitting me with those faves and just like supporting me. Like, I'm fairly new on Meet Me, so I appreciate like you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Sassy.
Well, light her up, everyone. Give her those favorites. Check out her songs. Abby Scott, excellent musician, straight out of LA, born and raised, right? Abby Scott, everyone, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, guys. Mwah. I will be back.
All right, much love. Thank you.
You guys know where to find me.
Yes. At Pacific time. 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Well, I mean on Meet Me. On Meet Me.
On Meet Me, exactly. All right, thank you, Abby. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, bye. All right. Cool, Abby Scott, everyone. That's guest number 1 tonight. Thank you for gifting her. Thank you for the gifts that were thrown my way. Appreciate it. Taking advantage of that box system. If this is your first time seeing the show, this is something we do every week at 9 p.m. I do not talk with the comments while we're doing the interviews. If you were to watch a late night show, Jimmy doesn't stop talking with the guests typically. But then again, people aren't throwing like pies and Ferris wheels at Jimmy. Could you imagine that? That would be a very unique situation. I'd be definitely newsworthy. But aside from that, thank you for the goose. But during these intermissions, we say hello. My name's Chris. It's nice to see you all. Thank you for hanging out and joining. We've got 2 more guests tonight. So let's get cracking and let's get into it. Second, I introduced her earlier, but I don't want to steal all the thunder. She's got a lot that she can say. So Miss Jules, if you'd like to request that box. If you're interested in knowing how to get on the show, message me on Instagram. Send me a message on here. I'd love to get to know who you are and have the opportunity to showcase you and do what I can to promote your live streams. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, guest number 2 tonight, the one, the only, Miss Jules G. How you doing?
Hi.
G, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? How is everyone? Hi. Everyone that's here to support me. Thank you. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing really well. You came in full force. You came
Oh,
in.
listen, it is almost 4 a.m. in France. I am kind of dying. I have a cold, but I'm here. I'm here for this.
4 a.m. You're dressed up, makeup, hair did. Like
4
what?
a.m. Yep, it's been
Yep.
quite the day.
So why are you in France? You're not from France, are you?
I'm actually half French. So I have my background. Actually, I got a tattoo today to commemorate my French heritage. So my French family originates from Thiers, France. So I got a tattoo to commemorate my family, my grandmother, this trip. It's been a pretty incredible trip. So I'm half French on my mom's side.
What's the next question everyone asks when you say that?
I don't know what.
Do you speak French? Is
Un
the
petit
question?
peu, oui, un petit peu. Je parle un peu de français. Yes. It's getting hi guys. It's getting better. Like the more I hear the language, I realize, oh yeah, I used to speak this. Yep, I remember that. I
You
remember
used to
that.
speak this. What do you mean?
I used to live in France. I lived in France when I was 2. Apparently, when I was like 6 months. 2, 5, and 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can pick up a lot. I think they say after 13 is it that you start to develop an accent that it doesn't sound like a natural language.
Yes, but it was so crazy because when I came back to the States, I had an accent for about maybe 3 months, and then it disappeared.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. I'm good old Michigander, so I don't have an accent to relate, but that's really cool. We haven't introduced you because again we just broke through the gates with the conversation topics. But will you please introduce yourself for everyone who has the opportunity to meet you?
Yeah, I'm Jules G. I am a streamer on the app. I've been here for about 4 months. I am like Abby. I am from LA, but unlike Abby, I am not a unicorn. I am a transplant from the Midwest. And the path I took as a career is a high school math teacher.
Wow.
Yes, I teach high school before everyone asks. No boys. It's just girls, okay? It's only females. 14 to 17
Why
years.
is that an important distinction to make?
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Myself, to make it conversational, relational, I come from a family of teachers.
Oh, no way. That is so cool. What subject?
Well, my mom was a special education teacher for 22 years. My grandpa taught mathematics and science. My great aunt is a professor at Washington University, and my aunt is an elementary school teacher. And
so you were like, I'm not going to be a teacher.
Well, growing up, I didn't get good grades, and like we did the parent-teacher conference thing, and it's really awkward when you have a son from a family of teachers that's not a good school performer. I don't know if they took it. My mom's watching right now. Mom, I'm sorry for those times. but yeah, no, I can totally relate. How long ago did you make the decision? I want to take the path of being a teacher.
Oh man, that is a 2-hour story. I'll try to make it really short. I actually got very bad grades in school. I failed every math class in my life. And when I came out to California, it's very difficult to find work. So I got work as a high school soccer coach. And I was like, this doesn't pay anything. So I asked the school if they had substitute work. And they were like, yeah, we have a math teacher. She's not always here. Could you, here are the topics. And I'm like, well, what topics are those? They're like, okay, it's going to be Algebra 2 honors, pre-cal, calculus, and AP Calc. And mind you, I'd like done horribly in school, like horribly. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I said yes. Okay. So I started studying at night and teaching during the day. And for whatever reason, it started clicking. I can't even explain it. Like I'd be up at the board teaching and I would be solving the problems as I'm teaching it to them. Like something was just clicking in my brain.
Like class, we're going to solve the problem, but you're actually solving the problem.
Yeah. No, the best thing I did is like if I didn't have a problem, like if there was a problem I didn't know how to solve, I'd be like, oh, Amber, why don't you go up there and let's solve it as a class? And then I would like run to my iPad and just like Wolfgram, like try to find the answer. And then I go up like I know everything. Like, okay, this is what we do. So I learned to teach on my feet. I learned math on my feet. For whatever reason, it was clicking. And I stayed with it because I failed in school because I had bad teachers. So I was like, well, let me make an impact. Let me change, other students' lives and their grades because I have that mentality of a struggling student. Like, I don't teach the teachers.
You're saying something very nice and sentimental, but I just want to point out the fact that you not only threw in this story, in the framework of the story, you threw a student under the bus. You said, when I couldn't figure it out, we bring up the student, and you said, and I also had bad teachers too. So, I said, there's this bus, and there's a lot of people laying underneath it. No, it's funny. But no, great moral of the story. Whether you're looking to be the president or be a teacher, you don't have to be qualified, apparently, to take it on.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky because the school I was at when I first started, it wasn't like the best school, so they were just hiring anyone. Mm-hmm. But then, I learned the stuff, and then I'm able to, I've been teaching for 5 years now, and I can teach the material in my sleep with both hands behind my back. Yeah.
Did you do any schooling after high school or college, anything like that?
Yes, I got my college degree. I did take a break when I came to California. And so when I decided to be a teacher, I rushed my butt back over to the university to finish my degree because you at least have to have a bachelor's.
Why did you move to California? What was the reason for that?
It was completely random. Like I said, I took a break from college. So when I took a break, my best friend at the time said, hey, I want to move to California. Will you come with me? And I said, sure. And we literally road trip down to Texas. The car broke down there. We stayed in a haunted house. We finally made it to California. No job, no place lined up. We just figured it out when we got here. She left after a week. She couldn't. She said that people were mean, and it just wasn't a good fit for her. Mm-hmm. I stayed. The rest is pretty much history.
Wow. Well, here you are. You stuck around. There's just so many loose ends to tie up. So let's get cracking. My mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. So you're a teacher. You're a teacher by day. You're in France right now. You're on some. Are you on a holiday break of some sort? Or
yeah. So this year we got a whole week off for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
thank you.
Goodness. How does broadcasting fit into all of this? Where did you make the discovery or transition from math by day, study athlete, to here I am world on this live stream?
You know what? About 4 months ago, if Mark is here, he can tell you how long I've been on the app to the minute. Mark, are you here? About 4 months ago, right? I was like, wow, I need to ironically enough, I was like, I need to go out more. I need to meet people. So I downloaded the app because I thought it was a social app where I can meet people. And then I'm kind of going around. I see the dating section. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not going there. No, that doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. And then I see go live and I clicked it. I just started talking to people that came into the room and it literally just snowballed. I'm so lucky to have come up very quickly because of the people that came in. I was very lucky. I had some viewers who are still with me to this day that just were showing me the ropes and teaching me. And, they stayed with me and they helped me. And literally the rest is history. So I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler by nature. I have 4 younger brothers. I've always been, the boss. I've always run things. I've always had a determination and drive. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stream after work.
So permission to not be humble, but do you feel like that you just had an innate ability to broadcast, or had you had a background in theater or performance, anything like that?
Teaching is acting.
Is it?
Teaching is 100% an acting job. When I go in front of the class, I am acting, right? At the beginning, I was acting like I knew what I was doing. Now the acting is for different stuff. But yes, I feel like I've always been very personable. I didn't know to the extent until I started streaming. Once I started streaming, I realized, oh, wow, people relate to me. People, I can talk to them. People talk back to me. Yes, I have a little bit of theater background. I used to do competitive acting in high school where we go around the nation and compete with other schools. And I won.
That's just a little bit of experience.
Yeah. But then, like, I saw, like, when I graduated, I was like, okay, like, acting, going into that's very risky. And I wanted a profession that was stable. So I decided to go the education route. Well, I fell into it, obviously. But so I feel like when I stream, I feel a little bit like I'm home. It's very hard to explain. It's like I'm in my element. Like I can talk for hours and hours and hours and not realize I've been talking for that long. Like I'll have a 5-hour stream and it feels like a 30-minute stream to me because I'm just having a really good time with everyone.
Yeah. What has that experience been of connecting with people? Do you feel like it's been just talking to a screen? Do you feel like it's been a relationship development, whether friends, romantic, etc.? Do you feel like it's extended up just beyond Q&A in a stream?
Absolutely. Yeah.
How so?
I feel like I've built a community within my stream. Like people come in, they know each other, they say hi, we talk about their lives, we talk about my life. I communicate with my followers outside the app. Some of them, as much as I possibly can, because I do have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. And I just feel like, I'm in a community where we know each other and everyone recognizes each other. And it's not just me and a screen. It's literally, I'm part of their lives, whether it's for 5 minutes, whether it's for 10 minutes, whether they're the kind of viewers that are going to stay for 5 hours, because I have those. Like they stay for 5 hours, right? Like I'm part of their lives. And what's been the most impactful for me is like, I didn't realize that I was going to actually help change lives. Like I've had people that come to me and say, hey, like when you talked about this, I went and talked to my sister who I hadn't talked to in 10 years. Hey, like you talking about this made me like want to go out and like, pursue something to make me happy. Like I have people that literally tell me and like, it literally like, it tears me up because it's like, oh my God, like I'm just a normal person. Like how am I impacting people so much? So it's very powerful. Like it's very powerful when you realize the connections you can make on the internet and how they feel so much like real life, I would say. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say it doesn't feel like it's real life. It is real life.
It is. You're absolutely right. It is real life. All these people, let's see, everyone that follows me in my rooms, when they come in, wherever I talk to them, yeah, they're part of my life. I think about them. I worry about them. Like, oh my gosh, like, how's this person doing? Let me send them a message. How's this person doing? Because you literally, yeah, you're right. It's real life. It's real life with real people.
Do you find that to be exhausting at all? Because before you answer, as you grow your community, or you grow a community, there becomes more and more people who become invested in you, and you're one person. So how do you find it from an emotional standpoint to be able to give and disperse yourself?
That's a really good question. As of right now, I mean, like when I say I talk to people, I don't talk to them all the time, right? And most of the talking happens within the app. And then there's people I talk to outside the app. What I do get across in the app, I think works very well, the way I do it. Am I exhausted by it? No, because I get a lot of satisfaction from it. So that kind of cancels out any feelings of fatigue or exhaustion. Because it's like, I'm helping people. And later on, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to like start forming like maybe like group chats everywhere. I'm a math teacher. I can do the numbers, put people here and there and there.
No, I hear you. What are some of your goals then with all of this? Do you want to just ride the wave and keep making connections? Has this sparked a new passion or any new ideas? What is the goal line for you now?
I definitely see where it goes. I'm spreading out onto YouTube. I'm gonna become a YouTuber, and the people that follow me on here are starting to follow me there. But I don't know if other streamers can resonate with this, but this has helped me personally in my life. like helping other people and talking to other people has helped me realize, oh, I need to be doing this and this and this and this.
Mhm.
So streaming literally makes me go, oh, I'm talking to people about going out and pursuing their passions. Okay, well then I need to go out and pursue my passions. So it's like this two-way network that's the street that's happening.
Mhm.
And so what I want from this app, yes, more connections. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to impact. And I don't know how they're going to impact me. And that's something I'm excited to see as well, is how people on this app are going to impact me, because they already have in many ways, to be real with you. Yeah, and definitely ride the wave, see where it goes. I mean, of course, anyone's going to love having people come in and support them and, you know, give attention to them and tell them they're great. All that's great, but it goes a lot deeper than that, because these people are actually helping me in my real life.
I don't want to stay on the topic too long, but there is something that I just keeps dwelling in the back of my mind. As you speak from this, you're really speaking from a place of passion and how it's helped you and how important it is.
Yeah.
Is there something that was like a catalyst or a prime example of where it was like you heard it and you said, wow, this has really impacted, or a top experience, a story, something that has happened to a viewer or to yourself that you said, okay, this is something that is much more than just joking around and talking to a screen?
I would say whenever that person came to me and said that they talked to their sister after not talking to them for like 10 years because sometimes my lives, it ends up being me like giving advice and giving like motivational speeches. It just happens that way sometimes, you know? And there's a lot of streamers on there that do that. I've been in other streamers. I love going around and sharing love and seeing everyone else and seeing what they're doing. There are other streamers that do the same thing. But sometimes as a streamer, you'll end up giving advice and, you know, motivational speeches and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that person told me like how much that impacted his life, I was like, oh, like real things are happening here. It's not just me on a screen and people commenting. Like I am impacting someone's life, you know?
That's true. That's definitely true. The way that we met, I was lurking around doing my scouting for my guests that I would like to come in the future weeks. So this is about a month ago. Yeah. A month ago. And you were doing the Next Date feature and you had people coming through. And would you like to just speak for yourself, or would you like me to keep directing this conversation at this point?
Please.
You happen to have a gift of creatively handling people who try to next date you by making themes or even poking fun or roasting. Is this like a bunch of pent-up teacher rage that you've got going on, or what is happening?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's my stress relief. I mean, it's better on them than my students, right? I'm kidding.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
How do you like that feature? I mean, so it seems very much to be in contrast to the person that you've presented yourself to be in this conversation, right? And compassionate, people talking to sisters.
Chris, I have multiple sides to me, and like my viewers, like they learn more and more about me every time. Like I can be sweet as pie. Like I will take my shirt off for you. But if you come at me with attitude, I will make you sit down so fast. Like, you know, like I can switch on and off. So with the next dating thing, it's a lot of fun for me. I really honestly feel like I do it for the viewers because they love it. Like they just love it. They love the whole experience of it. Is it teacher rage? Probably, you know, I'm not going to lie. Except I actually don't have much, I don't have much teacher rage, to be honest.
Because you're beating up people on the Next Date box, Jules. It's time to be honest.
Well, they're going to come at me and they're going to be all like, oh, I'm the hottest stuff ever. I'm going to tell them a thing or two. Mm-hmm. And if they're going to come and be disrespectful and show up in my box with no shirt, I'm going to tell them a thing or two, right? Like men these days, they don't know how to treat women. So you know what? Maybe I'll be the woman that tells them what's up.
One more time for measure. Sure. Yeah.
But I'm just a passive watcher,
and I said, all right, Let's find out a little bit more about this grill session that you were doing. Jules, besides teaching, besides being a live streamer, what do you like to do with your time? What is behind everything else?
So this has been like the timing of streaming has been very interesting for me because about a year ago I got out of a long-term relationship, right? It was about 5 years. And I went on Meet Me maybe 4 or 5 months after that. And so this has literally been a year of me rediscovering myself, what I like, all of that. So some of the passions I have revisited outside of streaming is I used to play soccer, so I'm trying to get back into that. For some reason, I have like the urge to learn like breakdance. So I think I'm probably going to take some breakdancing classes because why not? I've been getting into like weapons, like knives, like, you know, blades and stuff. Like, I think they're really cool. So I've kind of like, I'm building a little bit of an obsession over like, you know, pocket knives and samurai swords and stuff like that. So like, I'm just like discovering all this stuff about me that I never knew that I was going to be interested in.
I'm not laughing at it. It's more of the train of thought of I'm really doing a lot of self-discovery, like breakdancing and pocket knives. It's like when someone thinks of a healing process from a relationship, it's like, yeah, you know the axe throwing stuff? I'm really good at it, I found out. So, yeah, Dancing with Knives. It's like the sequel to Dancing with Wolves.
Hey, why not? Why not do it?
Yeah. Jules, if someone would like to see you live, when can they catch you?
Okay, so the best time is usually 4:30 specific time, because what I usually do is I'll go from teaching, go home, and I'll immediately jump on and stream. I've streamed every single day for 4 months. I've only missed one day because everyone here, a lot of people that are in here right now, they literally wait for me and they send me messages like, when are you going on? When are you going to be on? So I need to be there, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm there every single day, usually 4:30. Sometimes I stream multiple times. So sometimes I'll stream like 4:30 to like 6:30, get off for a little bit, eat some dinner because, oh my gosh, like sometimes I'm getting fat on stream, like eating a lot, or like I won't eat because I'm streaming, you know, like it's hard to like maintain a normal schedule. And then I'll jump back on sometimes in the evening. So yeah, like 4:30. It's good. It's weird for the next few days because I'm in France. Like right now it's 4:06 a.m. I literally like slept from like 7 to 11, so I could be up right now. And I get back on Saturday, so my schedule will pick back up on Saturday.
Awesome. Two more things before we wrap up today. A lot of comments about this puppet. What is?
Oh no!
What is
okay, so that's a next date thing. Are you ready for this, Chris?
All right, let's hear it.
So you know how Meet Me has a plethora of foreign perverts that, you know, will jump in your battles and your boxes and requests. So in the next date, there's a lot of foreign perverts. So I don't want to talk to them. So I created a puppet that will talk to them. Okay? This is STFU puppet. And whenever there's a pervert on the screen, he just talks to them. Hey, BB. How you doing, BB? How you doing?
I don't feel like I can participate in this because I feel like it could be bad for me. So I'm just going to plead the fifth and remain very neutral about what you just said. So yeah, I mean, you do you, Jules. I do know that I do want to comment. So the way I pitched the show to you, I jumped in your box.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
And when I left, someone said, that dude, either he was for real or that was the most creative shot ever shot. And I was like, no, I'm definitely taken. This is for the show.
Do you remember what you said? Did you remember what you said when you got in the box?
I said, I'm not here to date you, but I am here
I'm not here to date you. I'm not here to date you. I'm here for a proposition.
Yeah, I'm here. I think I said either proposition or solicitation. And then you went, I'm listening. And I was like, okay, I'm not about to get grilled. Because I was like, my fear was that I was going to jump in and you're going to be like, well, hey, how much time did you spend on your hair today, you real tool? I was like, oh. That was what I was afraid of. And I don't need that in my life. Okay, Jules, outside of all that, Is there anything that you'd like to share, talk about, anything that's important that we have not addressed tonight?
Honestly, I just want to shout out to everyone who showed up here that supports me. They're here. They're, commenting so fast. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and supporting me. You guys are awesome. You guys make my stream what it is. You guys literally, I wouldn't be streaming if it wasn't for viewers like you, because that's what I look forward to when I come in, and you guys have, put me where I am. And, I have much love for all of you. And Chris, thank you so much for jumping. Oh, love you 3000, Pappy. And, thank you for having that courage to jump in my date box. I promise I'm not always mean. They'll tell you I can be very, very nice as well to everyone.
Here to ask you about a show, and I was in the danger zone. You
were so fast with it. You were like, it's a show. I was like,
it's a show. I'm not here to date you. But yeah, I figured that'd be much better. So anyway, Jules, thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, everyone, if you're looking to get schooled by the teacher, you can catch her Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 after your regularly scheduled school hours. Jules, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Excellent time. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jules, wait. Is your username anything? Are you Jules G? Is there any story behind your username?
No, Jules is just like a nickname, and G is the first letter of my middle name.
Okay. If I hear the name Jules, I immediately think of Superbad. I don't know if you've seen Yeah. So. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jules G, catch her live, Pacific Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye. Hey! Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Abby. Thank you for both of the guests so far that we've had tonight. Thank you, Pop. Start. If you are interested in the show, please shoot me a message, DM, however you like. We have one more guest though. He is evening. Everyone,